Minnesota Fighting Vikings training camp is upon us, and one of the fun things every single year is who is going to be Mr. Mankato. Now, for the uninitiated, Mr. Mankato was started as a sort of ubiquitous award of who was the largest young overachiever on the roster when the Vikings had training camp back in Mankato. Now, after they moved back to TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill in Eagan, it's still Mr. Mankato. It's always going to be Mr. Mankato. Like, what's it going to be? Like, the head chef of TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill, executive chef, or, I don't know, the Earl of Eagan? No, it's going to be Mr. Mankato. It will always be so. So there you go. And like we mentioned, the genesis of it is who is the scrappy guy on the bottom of the roster who massively overachieves, right? Who's that guy who's just going to come in and blow the doors off the roof and surprise a lot of people? So we're going to do our list from 10 to 1. Actually, there's 11 names in here, so try and figure that one out. Now, we could go with guys. I do think that Cameron Tiny Dancer is going to have a really good training camp, but he's already sort of established himself. He was the best rookie cornerback last season, so we took him off the list. So generally, it is going to be rookies. It is going to be younger players who haven't gotten the time of day, so let's go. Number 10, I got tight end Shane Zelstra. Yeah, that's right. So, spoiler, he's the only tight end on the list. I did not list Zach Davidson, the fifth-round tight end / punter out of Central Mizzou, but Shane, of course, Shane played at Mankato State University Community College. Now, if this was back in Mankato, this would be a great story. Like, when Adam Thielen was coming up as a UDFA and work his way up in the Vikings, like, having his training camp at his old field, Blakesley Stadium, that's awesome. That is really cool. But Shane had himself some nice moments at OTAs. I think that he could build upon that. Maybe he makes a push to make the Rooster. Probably not with Brandon Dillon and Davidson in his way, but practice squad, maybe. Given his size, given his speed, given his college production, I think that he does have a chance to stand out, and he'll be a crowd favorite early on. Number 9, who we got? Number 9, DJ Wonham. So coming into year 2, by the way, Shane Zelstra was a UDFA last year. So that's why he's a 2, not a rookie. But DJ Wonham, I think that he has a chance to rise up and firmly establish himself as the edge rusher opposite Daniil. I think by default, it's going to go to the veteran Steve Weatherly. But DJ Wonham last year showed some really good flashes. He needs some more consistency. I think that he is best suited to be a number 2. I think that he is the Robin to Daniil Hunter's Batman. But there ain't nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely none. Like, Trey Hendrickson was the Robin to Cam Jordan's Batman last year, and you look what he did in one-on-one situations where he just racked up and stacked up sacks, and he got paid. He got some big-time money, son. So I think DJ Wonham has a chance to go boom in year 2 and really show up and show out in Mankato. Number 8, linebacker Chad Surratt. So we talked about him yesterday, where I think that given that he is so raw as a linebacker, but you do have the physical traits. I think he's got good instincts. I think he's a good leader. I think that he could make some plays from sideline to sideline, maybe make a big pick here or there. But I think Chad Surratt is going to eventually work his way up. Maybe he doesn't start on paper as that third linebacker. I think Nick Vigil has a bit of a hold on that one for now, but we'll see. Number 7, James Lynch. That's right. I won't give up on us. That's right. James Lynch, whenever he's on the field last season, which was not very often, he just did van damage, man. Like in that Seattle game, hey, bench pressing Damian Lewis, the very solid third round guard out of LSU. Yeah, we didn't need him. Yeah, just throwing him back into Russell Wilson, getting after it. I love James Lynch. He is an absolute heart and hustle guy, and he is hurt by the fact that he is sort of positionless. Like, it wasn't long and fast enough to play edge in the NFL. He's not quite big enough or experienced enough to play inside every single down, but just get him on the field. And we talked that the Michael Pierce injury, potentially kicking him out the first couple weeks of training camp, could allow James Lynch to get a couple more snaps since there's going to be some shifting around. Diesel Dalvin going to play somewhere nose. Maybe you work in a James Lynch as 3-tech with Sheldon Richardson, especially since Sheldon's a vet. I mean, how many reps do you really need to see from Sheldon Richardson? So maybe James Lynch could get something going here. I love him, man. I do. Number 6, quarterback Harrison Hand. That's right. 38 special. Everyone and their mom is raving about number 38. And I think that he, even in a very deep cornerback room where you do have Dantzler and Peterson and Bashad Breeland and Mac Alexander, I think that he could get on the field. I think he could have a very nice niche role, and eventually that expands. Like, right now, If you told me 3 years from now Harrison Hand is a starting cornerback in the National Football League, I would not be shocked. Like, I would not be shocked at all. So I think that he steps up. Maybe he makes a couple more big plays like he did at OTAs at the beginning of training camp and gives himself a leg up in that competition. Oh, by the way, we should note that this isn't just training camp. This also includes preseason. So, that's a big factor as well. Number 5, edge rushers. So, flip a coin. Janarius Robinson and Patrick Jones, the fourth and third round. Patrick Jones second, nailed it. The fourth and third round picks respectively. Where I think that they will get opportunity running with the 2s, running with the 3s. I think they'll get a couple of shots here and there just to tee off and go get a sack or two. Make a couple of big plays, especially in the preseason games, like in the second half when they're in against the slappies, against dudes who are going to be working at Foot Locker in a couple weeks, and it's just like just getting it. Just the raw power of Robinson, just the great skills and knack for getting to the quarterback of Patrick Jones. I'm really fired up for these two. I think they're great additions to this defensive line. Number 4, Wyatt Davis, no matter what. Now, it is extremely hard to win Mr. Mankato as an offensive lineman. And, you could put Darisaw on this list, but, first-round pick already comes in with expectations. Wyatt Davis, as a third-round pick, as a guy who saw his draft stock, take a little bit of a tumble from 2019 or 2020. And Wyatt Davis is I'm going to throw it on the table, is going to overtake Dakota Dozier. I know it's such a huge hurdle. But with Rick Dennison, you never know. He will take over the right guard spot. He will be a mauler. 51, Area 51. I love it. He's just going to get in there. He's going to bash some heads. He's going to make life easier for Garrett Bradbury. He's going to hold up. He's got one of the best anchors on the team and just finally bring some strength and solidifying that interior offensive line. I like it a lot. Number 3, Smith-Marsette. That's right. We're looking for that wide receiver 3. Maybe we have him. Maybe we have him, the speedster out of Iowa. Can he be that vertical threat? Can he be that Aldrick Robinson adjacent type player? I think he can. Plus, I think that him and Nwangu, we'll get to him in a sec, will supplant Amir Abdullah to win the kick return job. And he is a big play waiting to happen. I think that he does have really good open field instincts. Now, if he can refine a little bit as a route runner, which would be great, but just coming in and just being that guy who runs 9s and bang 8s right away to help supplement Jefferson and Thielen, I like it a lot. Number 2, Kenan Nwangu. That's right. I'm not gonna lie, he is one of my crushes from this very crushable draft class this year. But Nwangu is just a physical freak of nature, man. Never got the time of day in Ames, Iowa, but he's gonna come in. He'll get a couple of carries. I think that he's going to blow up the preseason. I do. Madison will still get his work. I love and respect him. But I think Nwangu is going to be a long strider, against 3s later on in preseason games. He's going to bust a 90-yard run, and it's just going to be single cut and boom, go. Being that large and that strong and that fast, it should not be allowed. It's really amazing. I love me some Nwangu. And finally, of course, quarterback. Kalaman, that's right. Everyone's favorite guy is the backup quarterback, and also if you have a young drafted quarterback that's going to be the future, I think that Mond is going to have an opportunity to really step up. He primarily ran with the 2s at OTAs, but I think that eventually he will overtake Jake Browning. I think his arm talent, his mobility is just too much. I think that the problem with him at College Station was that he was inconsistent, where he would have a lot of highs, a lot of lows. Now, could we get that wavelength to be the highs and the mediums as opposed to lows before? It's possible, but to win Master Mankato, you just need some flash, a little bit of flash, a little bit of dash. So a couple big plays, hitting on a bomb, scrambling, gambling, shades of Fran Tarkenton, stick in the minds of Vikings fans. That could win you Mr. Mankato, especially in preseason. If you make a couple of Joe Webb type preseason plays, I think that he has a chance to really sink his teeth into Mr. Mankato. But what are your thoughts on our list? In no particular order. Who's going to win Mr. Mankato? Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.